This is Brownie's
Yes,
Podcast.
this is Brownie's podcast. Dear God, we got a lot to get to. The entire races weekend, the hitchhiking contest between Dog and Jonathan in the middle of Richmond. Spicy results, but how did things go at home yesterday for the Cup Day, John?
I feel a little bit better that my cup sweep ran well yesterday. The Brown family sweep, because it didn't go to Flemington. So I said, righto, kids, yesterday morning, let's just have a sweep. And straight away, Jack goes, $50 to the winner. Now, let me remind you that Jack's 9. Mm-hmm. And I said, no, mate, we're not doing it. He goes, oh, what? He goes, Macy won $100 last year. Because last year, of course, I gave every one of my kids $5 each. And I was the bookie. And little Mimi, the youngest, who was 7 years old at that stage, had $5 to win on twilight payment, who ended up winning and paying $25. So I had to shell out over $100. And so Mimi won $100. I said, yeah, no. On reflection, Jack, that was a mistake. So we're not doing a sweep for $50. So my kids have lost perspective.
They have.
On the value of money. Unfortunately enough, it was $30 to the winner. Kylie Brown won the chocolates, and geez, didn't the kids have the sads up?
Oh.
Kylie Brown, Jay Brown, Kylie Brown, and Coles' mum finished fourth.
Really?
The kids didn't win.
Missed
Hey,
out.
Skerrick.
This is real life, kids.
This is
Sometimes-
kid.
Yes.
Sucks shit. Geez, been a good couple of days though, hasn't it? We had a lot of fun. Dino, we've spoken about that, he was going to be along with us on Saturday to the races for my birthday, Brown Dog. Late scratching he was.
Wow, why?
He double booked.
I had a Bucks party, man, and like a close mate dog, so I couldn't get out of it.
And you forgot about him.
Yeah, I'm real bad with booking shit.
And do you know how good this day was? I haven't been to the races in more than 10 years, right? Not a big race. I'm more of a Sandown Dogs on like a Thursday afternoon type of setup, rather than the sophistication of Flemington. And
Mate.
it was Derby Day, and we're in, where were we? The Chairman's Lounge.
Chairman's Club.
Chairman's Club.
Beautiful.
That's
It was
real
beautiful up
top-end
there.
sort of stuff.
Danielle was looking after us.
Brian Brown was there.
Big Brian, he was there. We had a good day. A few of we had a table of 10.
Pang, Judd,
Pang was-
Dog.
yes. No, Juddy didn't get a call up.
Didn't he
Neither
make an
did Dog.
appearance?
No, this was the week before.
Well, he did make an
He did.
appearance for a tight 5. Just did
Did
a
he?
tight 5 minutes. Tried to get a couple of laughs, fell flat again, but made better effort. Made better effort with his attire.
Good.
Obviously, he had strong feedback on last week's podcast for his
Is
dress
he a
up.
Brownie's podcast listener?
He is a Brownie's podcast
avid.
listen and was, he wasn't offended. He took the constructive feedback that we gave him last week.
pretty brutal.
It was brutal about that he didn't make an effort to dress up. He made an effort to dress up. We had a great day up at the Chairman's Club. Jeez, it was fun. We backed a couple of winners along the way. It was a bit of fun. Getting there was a little bit of an issue. What about this? The taxi driver or the car driver put his finger up a little bit too early, Brown Dog, and said, do you notice where we're going, Brownie? And I said, no, we're going through the Melbourne docks. He goes, these are the back ways.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm going, this is pretty impressive. He gets us all the way pretty much to the back straight.
Bit of a VIP secret entrance.
VIP secret entrance.
And he's cocky. He's like, I've got you.
I've got you. The only problem was he's in a van, and all of a sudden we're coming to a bridge, and it's one of those clearance measurement things where you can't fit your van under it. So all of a sudden the colour drained out of his face. Next minute the van is pulled up. He is out of the van. He's measuring. He is measuring this thing with his eyes. He's turning back, looking at the van with his eyes. All these cars are going past, window down, going, Brown Dog, you lost. I'm thinking, oh, shit. So then he had to take us all the way back onto Epsom Road.
Backfired on
that
him.
was joggers.
Woof.
So I said to the girls, I can't do this any longer. You're going to have to get out and walk. So the girls have had to walk about 1.5 km.
Oh, not in the high heels.
The high heels. And Jess, Coles' mate, had a pencil dress. You know those pencil dresses on where you can't move your legs?
Yes.
She waddled like a penguin for about 1.5 km. So
All because this half-assed shortcut that was
Yes.
no good.
Yeah.
No, it was no good. But no, we had a fun day. Did you back a winner on Derby Day, Dog?
Derby Day was okay. It found ice bath,
Yeah.
which was nice. Yesterday, Cup Day was much more difficult. Jeez, it was hard to find a winner there. And what about we were just having a chat to Brody just before we were about to start the podcast, and I was talking to him. I said, geez, SEN Track was on fire yesterday. Tags found the winners. And he said, what race day was yesterday? Had absolutely no idea. the Melbourne Cup was on. Did you just have a brain fade, or are you just completely living on another
I
planet?
thought it was Sunday. I thought that the races were on Saturday and that it was Sunday. Then was there like an unknown race day where we?
Yeah, it's unknown. It's called the Melbourne Cup.
and your name is PointsBet Pomeroy.
Yeah.
Mate, you'll be sacked as the ambassador.
Yeah.
For sure.
Bullet.
But I was listening in intently, and you had a good day. You started to win some late.
Yes, we caught fire late.
You caught fire late.
And a bit of that had to do with Wayne Hawkes. He had a running double. But greatness needed to identify greatness. And David Taggart, who is our little man.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Tag.
Former jockey, former Group 1 jockey.
Brian Lara was in the birdcage and he'd heard about
Brian
David,
Lara?
Yeah, the great cricketer from the West Indies.
Brian Lara was in the birdcage.
He was very sophisticated guy. He's always immaculately dressed. He walked into the SEN track marquee swirling some red from the Penfolds marquee, and he wanted to meet David Taggart.
Big dick energy.
BDE.
Yes.
And game, and they just really hit it off. He's a lovely guy, Brian.
And
Give
it
us
helped-
more. Give us more.
Well, it helped the fact that Tags tipped him the winner of the Melbourne Cup. It
did help.
Trip.
Yeah, it helped.
Did you get Brian Lara on SEN track?
Yes.
What?
They got Brian Lara on SEN track.
Yep. It was funny, when Tags was sitting down, he stood up to meet one of his sporting idols, and it was exactly the same height.
No shit.
Yeah, so he loved that. And Brian Lara, he's got quite a soft, high-pitched
He
voice.
does.
Have you ever
he
noticed
does.
that?
Yeah, very well spoken.
Very well spoken.
Yeah.
Is
Did
he
have-
funny on the piss, dog?
He was very good.
Very
Yeah,
good.
no, he was good. He was good. We were talking about the birdcage incident a few years ago when I got a 3-year suspension for my mate jumping in the Mumma pool.
Why did
Didn't you know that?
Why did you get the
Dog got
suspension?
suspended.
Guilty by association. Yeah.
Did you get back in this year, or are you still suspended?
I didn't try this year, but my 3 years is up. Yeah.
I tell you what I saw, which was, the one rule about Derby Day, right? Again, I don't know anything about the races, but Derby Day is that you have to wear black and white, right? So all the women are in black.
Well, you don't have to, but it's sort of the trend.
Bare minimum, the tie must be black. Is
That's
that right?
right. yeah.
Everything's optional in life.
Okay.
But so everyone is in black and white, right? So pretty much you look left, you look right, everyone's in it. And grey is acceptable. Grey is acceptable because it's a shade of black or white.
Yes.
Right? The one person that I saw on the day that didn't have black or white on,
Juddy.
Campbell.
Yes.
He wore a blue suit.
Yes,
I
dog.
refuse to bow to tradition.
Conform.
You remember the lady back in the day that wore the short dress?
Jane Shrimpton?
Shrimpton. And back then it was
Shrimpton.
frowned
Wait a
upon.
minute. Who on God's green earth is Jane
I
Shrimpton?
think Jane Shrimpton. It was definitely Shrimpton.
You don't remember the
Shrimpton.
name of your third-born child, yet you pull that out of nowhere.
That was in the early 60s too.
She wore a very, very short cut dress, which back then
And no
everyone
heart.
said, "Oh, you can't do that, faux pas." And now someone's got to be bold enough to break tradition.
And dog, we're still saying Shrimpton's name to this
Shrimpton.
goddamn day. Hey, shout out to the lady that pushed the cop into the hedge that year. Do you
Yeah,
remember
That's
that?
right.
Oh, yes.
That was
Shout
unbelievable.
out.
Shout out too to our mate Hinksy,
Yes.
who's actually a part owner of Gold Trip.
Yes.
The Melbourne Cup winner. Amazing performance. So I feel so much better for Hinks now.
he can pay back the Super Bowl.
pay back the Super Bowl tickets that obviously Danielle, I saw the lovely Danielle, his wife, who's an avid listener of Brownie's podcast, who first found out that Hinks had shelled out on 4 Super Bowl tickets for his mates when she heard Brownie's podcast
That
and then
was
checked the credit card statement.
A huge oversight on our part.
Yeah, that was maybe should have been edited out. But so well done, Hinksy would have had a big night. I got a couple of texts from him. I got a voicemail. I thought, should I fall into that trap late on a Tuesday night? Then you're just going to turn up to Brownie's podcast today for the record, and it's going to be no good. But
like I did last year. Came
like you
straight
did
from
last year.
The winner's house to here.
Absolutely. Now, one other thing I just want to touch on, the suit. I'm going to go back to the suit for a second.
Yeah.
Now, Dino, you'll back me up here.
Yeah.
I think you will, Brown Dog, as well. So, Brody made an appearance at the races, Derby Day, in his grey suit.
Looked good too. Looked $1 million.
Did look $1 million. Did a lot of time with my old man, Brian. They're still going strong late into the night, but there was several occasions when I had to reach for him and just grab him with his excitement. I said, just settle down. We're in the Chairman's Club. And I grabbed those biceps. I think a drug test is required.
Yep.
Mate, I think there is no doubt
What
he's on
kind of drug
on
test?
steroids.
Piss in this
He-
cup.
mate. I think we need an official piss test. I think Brownie's podcast, the next episode, we need to track down.
We can't have a drug cheat in our studio.
Mate, these things, this was a normal size suit, and his arms were bursting out.
Bit of human growth hormone.
Bro,
Brody.
are you just focusing on the guns? Because they're pythons, my man.
Yeah, it's always arm day. You don't really worry about the chest or the back or legs or abs. It's always arm day.
Jesus.
Always arm day. But now I'm getting a little bit out of proportion. So now the arms are too big and the rest is just a bit soft.
The traps are massive as
I'm going
well.
to check your back for acne. That'd be the
Yes.
first test, don't you think?
Absolutely.
I'm serious. We need a steroid test for it.
We will.
Because the other symptom of drugs is
A chode.
shrinkage. And I've seen that, and I think you're onto something, JB. Hey, do you ever get recognised out and about due to your role here on Brownie's podcast? Like, could you walk through Flemington unabated?
Absolutely.
You could.
Solely for the fact that my head is not in the logo.
Hey, man, I tried. These guys they weren't excited about the idea, I've got to say.
And apparently there's just no way that I can get my head in the logo.
Well, there might be. There might be, because you'll hear something a little bit later in this podcast. I might not be here next year.
What?
Don't want to say too much
What?
more, but
Oh, look out.
What are you
I
talking
think there's going to
about?
be repercussions for something that I did in the heat of anger from last week's podcast.
Oh, shit.
And there could be reverberations right through this studio.
Well, we look forward to that. I just
Jeez.
can't wait to get to that stage of the podcast. Just before we finish up from Saturday night, the problem with Broads, he goes out in public. He's okay. He's unrecognisable at this stage. But I tell you who is recognisable. Ollie Wines.
Of course, Brownlow medalist.
Brownlow medalist. Ollie Wines turns up to a little sort of private function we had post-races out the back. Wow. All of a sudden, did he have the pipes out? Was he showing off his rigged Ollie Wines?
Hey.
Mate, was just fangirling him.
Real sycophantic
Did you
sort
talk
of
to him?
behaviour.
Did you tell me?
Oh,
you
did
didn't
he
say
talk
shit
to him?
Oh, yeah, I said, and it's the standard when I meet a Port Adelaide player. Yeah. I'm like, oh, what do you do for work? And he just shook his head, didn't even answer me, then turned back to his partner and started talking to her. I'm like, right, okay, so that went well.
Yes.
Mate,
Really?
it's just...
You said that to Ollie once. What
Yeah,
do you do
I
for
thought
work?
he'd laugh.
funny.
Again, it's funny. I thought he'd laugh.
It's not funny.
He didn't like it so much. And he
embarrassing.
had an earring. I'm like, come on, mate, get that earring out. I tried to pull his earring out.
no.
I tried to
No,
even just attach
he's
it.
got one.
And then he was like
What's
trying to
he
move
got
his head
here?
away. And yeah, Ollie,
You're
like,
kidding
Ollie
me.
had a fair entourage that turned up.
didn't he?
Yeah, it's a few.
And then they drank the house down on Brownie's dad's tab.
Thank you, Brian.
Go on, you Brian. Well done. Tell you what was the highlight, though. You can't beat the whole of Saturday for me. Was the end of the night when Dino was going to hook up with us and try and meet up, but I didn't have my phone. My wife had my phone. She took my phone home. I don't like to roll with the phone late at night when I'm having a good time, Brown Dog, but I wake up the next morning and a fantastic, beautiful voicemail arrived on my phone late Saturday night to the dulcet tones of Dean Thomas.
Big John, Dean Thomas. I'm at a Chinese restaurant and something looks strange on my willy. I'll send you a picture. Do you ever win at the horses? I hope none of yours race because they're all idiots.
What time was that?
Wait, I think I was only around 8 o'clock. Let's move on.
Not sure if it's...
Let's move on.
Anyway, it was a fun day.
All right, now, this hitchhiking stunt that, Brody, you thought of doing a long time ago where you put Dog and Jonathan on Victoria Street and see which of these two men could get picked up more by randoms.
Yes, I just don't think that anyone picks up hitchhikers anymore. Like, if you see one on the street, which you rarely do, no one's picking him up. I'm like, did a fair bit about ruining that for everyone, and you just don't do it. It's high risk, very low reward type situation. And so I thought, but you know what? If you were a celebrity, you are 100% getting picked up. So they're like, because there's no threat from Jonathan Brown. If you were to be murdered or someone saw you, like Jonathan Brown, getting into your car, celebrity hitchhiking, let's put Campbell and Browny head to head and see who, if they were to get picked up at all.
Two men on Victoria Street, and things were bad early for Jonathan. And he also noticed Dog on the other side of the road.
Look at that sad sack of a man. How disheveled he look? Has that man got a home? I'm going to have one last crack at it. No chance.
No good for Jonathan. Now,
Well, there's a method to your thumb, right? Jonathan had it up like he was, saying hello to people. Whereas you have to have it out to the side in a clear indication that you are looking for a lift.
well, eventually, Dog, you noticed, and you can hear Jonathan in the background, that he may have had a bit of success.
Oh, no, JB's got one. What's he got here? You're kidding me.
So Dog's flat. JB's got one on the board. But let's just unpack what happened on this first pickup.
Thank you. Hello. Can you just take me around the corner? Just take me up there around the corner. Keep going through the lights. Yes.
Now, something's not right about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
JB
well,
paid for that lift.
No. The reason I'm saying around the corner, I don't want to get too far up the road.
Okay.
So all I have to do is get hitchhiked and get around the corner, and my job is done.
Let's just continue with the same trip.
Oh, it's going to Heidelberg, right?
No, we'll just go up around the corner.
Oh, the corner.
No.
The address is Heidelberg.
Was it?
You give sir?
No, that's okay.
No, that's okay.
Oh.
It's not okay.
Okay.
Got in the wrong car.
It's an
Is he
Uber,
talking about Heidelberg?
it's an Uber
Heidelberg.
driver going to Heidelberg, and you're going, nah, it's okay. And he's going, no, it's not okay.
I think her name might have been Giselle.
Oh, no.
And I sort of tried to roll with it, but I thought I knew you were watching intently. So I've tried to convince him, but no,
He kicked you out.
He wasn't having a bar
All
of it.
right, well, there's -1.
Dog is a much smarter fox, though, with his questioning.
Here we go. Camry. How are you, mate? You're not an Uber, are you? No, I want to get picked up by just a random. I'm hitchhiking.
Smart.
Yeah, well, because I'm not a cheat.
Score check.
Still 0-0.
Nil.
Still 0-0. It's tough. It was tough early.
Unless you want to take a point off JB for cheating.
Broads.
0-0.
Oh, he's got a van. Jeez. Imagine what he do in the back of that van. I'm glad he drove past me, that bloke. I'm not up for getting cut up. Hey, boys. How you going? Pick me up. So close. How are you, mate? I'd love to. Thanks, mate. Where are we heading? Are ya? I won't go far. Here we go. I just looking to hitchhike. What's your name?
Damien.
How are you, Damo? Campbell.
How are you?
Thanks for picking me up, mate.
No worries.
We thought that hitchhiking was a dead art, but it's still alive. How many people have you killed?
Not many, mate.
It's always good to beat JB. Look at him standing over there. No one likes him. No one wants to pick him up. What do you do with yourself? Plumber? Yeah, great. Here we go. Give yourself a plug.
How you going?
Who do you work for?
True Blue Plumbing.
True Blue Plumbing, mate. Happy to pick up a hitchhiker. Do you listen to the podcast?
Which one?
Brownie's podcast.
No.
She was emphatic about no.
Don't be silly.
Now, you're at lights. So I've got a bone to pick here. I'm not sure it qualifies. Brown Dog has set up camp at a traffic light.
Yeah.
So they're actually stopped. They're stationary vehicles.
Yeah, but you had a slip lane, so if you wanted to stand in the middle of traffic and guide people into the slip lane, you could have. The score is 1-0.
I was just playing the percentages, you know what I mean?
Plus the great small talk in the car.
Mate, I'm a much more approachable type of person. I reckon your size.
I wouldn't have thought so. I think it's the side of the road you're on. You've got an advantage. People are willing, they're on their way out of town, business is done for the day, so they're not in a rush. Whereas people going into town, the side I'm on, they're rushing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to swap. I propose we swap.
Okay, swap sides,
Okay.
and you get over there.
Righto. Here we go. Blue car, my chance. Come on, come on, come on. Yes! We're in a competition. Me and Brown Dog to hitchhike. Yo, Beauty.
Let's go, son.
What's your name?
Craig, mate.
Craig. The mighty Craig has picked me up. It is all to do with the side of the road you're on.
Fair enough.
Craig loves the podcast, don't you, Craig?
I do.
He's a big man. How good's that? Success.
Success, where are we going?
Well, I just have to get into a car and go for a drive. So you can drop me off up here and I can go past. What are you off to? You done for the day or you're on your way to work?
Halfway through work. Still got a bit of work to do.
Beautiful.
So,
who's
yeah.
your favourite on the podcast?
You gotta be you. Gotta be you.
Thank you,
It's a
mate.
good one.
Pull over here.
Okay.
On the board, John.
On the board. We're away.
1-1.
Oh, in he goes again. He's got another one. Can you? Oh, off he goes. Jeez.
It's too easy.
We might lose him this time.
He got another one.
Can you believe?
He got another
Can you
one.
believe this man?
This bloke was peculiar.
What do you
Was
mean?
he?
Well, I look in and he's got a little dog, a little chihuahua on his lap.
How you going, champ?
I'm not going far. I'm only going to Kew Junction.
Oh, I just need to go about 100 metres up the road. What's your dog's name?
That's Georgie. He's
Georgie. Peace. Hello, buddy. How are you?
very friend.
Yeah. What do you do with yourself?
Well, I'm retired.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, mate.
No
You look after
worries.
yourself.
It's
Cheers.
Have a good day.
Wait, so you're in a car with a strange...
An Englishman who was mid-70s with a little pet chihuahua.
Fan of Brownie's podcast?
No, never heard of Brownie's podcast.
Like most of the others.
But he drove... I ended up requesting to jump out because he was driving too slow.
Yeah.
He was in no hurry, but he's f***ing dog, mate. It's illegal to drive with a dog on your lap
Is it?
Absolutely.
because I abide by all the road rules.
Did you try and put the dog in your lap?
Well, the dog wanted to come across. So just after I jumped out, I actually reported him to the police.
No, you didn't.
Well, you can't be driving with a dog on your lap. It's not safe.
The winner of the
Chihuahua.
Brownies Podcast Hitchhiking Challenge is Campbell Browny.
Damn right.
Bad luck, John.
You're too good. I'll accept that.
Yeah.
You were the friendly face. Maybe it was the technique of having your hand over there, or maybe the fact that you looked homeless and dishevelled. They thought, I better pick this poor bastard up and take him home for a feed.
I did have a few people actually message me on Instagram saying, hey, were you hitchhiking in Richmond? My wife drove past, a mate of mine drove past. Is everything okay? They thought I'd been kicked out of home or I'd had a terrible day on the punt. I had to tell them, no, everything's fine. It was just a game.
Back in a sec. Welcome back to Brownies Podcast. Now, some spicy audio last week with Campbell Brown on a voicemail that was kind of a betrayal of his trust because he didn't know that this was going to be aired in the podcast. Fair to say?
I had no idea. I thought my relationship with Del was much stronger.
This is to one of our bosses, I guess, in Sydney.
Yeah, the decision maker, the guy that basically puts Brownie's podcast together.
Yeah, he does. And, you know, it hit a sensitive spot because you are follically challenged, brown dog.
Become that way.
Become that way. You're concerned for your future. But you didn't realise that this was going to leave, I suppose, become public.
I never thought I'd be bald. You know, like everyone in my family has a good head of hair. I didn't know that it was a thing in the past. You know, like my grandfather, great grandfather, have been known to be bald, but I didn't meet them. You know,
Sensitive, isn't it? Like in senses, you're about to cry.
This is vulnerable. This is a vulnerable thing that Dog did to Del.
Carol, hello, mate. Campbell Brown. Good to see you on last Thursday for that lunch, mate. I know that you and JB kicked on. I had a message from Kyle, his wife, at about 10 o'clock. Couldn't find him. Thought that I kidnapped him. Mate, give us a buzz. I'm ringing him regarding that stuff you put in your hair. I'm keen for some regrowth. Give us a buzz. Thanks, mate.
Vulnerable.
anyone that knows me knows that I'd say that I have quite a long fuse, a long wick.
Yeah.
But when it does eventually expire, I lose my composure. And then I make bad decisions.
Okay.
And sometimes I can't control what I do and say next.
Okay.
Del, Campbell Brown here, mate. Why the did you go and leak my voice message to you? I rang you in confidence to find a cure for my baldness. Minoxidil. You said you'd help me, and you go and betray my trust and send it into Brody to play on our podcast without my knowledge. Oh, it's an area in my life I'm extremely insecure about, and for you to go and blow it up like that, make fun of me, I'm disgusted. Paris Hilton would trust Rick Solomon more than you, and he released A Night in Paris. Kim Kardashian would trust Ray J more than I trust you, and he sent that sex video out to the world to see. I'm embarrassed, I'm pissed off, and quite frankly, I don't trust you. You said we were friends. If this is how you treat your friends and your employees, knows how you treat everyone else, mate. I'm not sure if I can go ahead with Brownie's podcast next year. Go
Shit, mate, didn't that build?
That builds up, mate.
Wow.
A couple of days later, I thought, maybe I shouldn't have sent that to Dal. So I don't know where I sit now.
So Brownie's podcast in a tenuous position.
I've reached out to him. He hasn't got back to me. I don't know where we. I don't know.
Why are you calling that reaching out to him?
So I don't know, boys. I don't know where we're going to be next year.
That olive branch was a sledgehammer.
Mate, he might be wounded.
All right, we'll see what happens next. I'm reckon Del will call back. Let's see what happens. Hey, Christmas.
Del will be invited to the Christmas party, Dino?
Will he come down and?
Well, I'm a bit concerned now because off air it's been discussed that we may go to this axe place, Dino. We'll start throwing axes. But if Del hears about an axe throwing competition, he may be a little bit concerned about his safety.
Wait, so I didn't know axes were on the table. We're going axe throwing?
We can go axe throwing. So pretty much like a Viking, you get hands above the head with a heavy axe, and there's just a wall in front of you.
Yeah.
And you just peg the axe at the wall.
I'm a bit concerned with those arms of yours at the moment.
Yeah, you're
big
dangerous.
Viking arms.
We need something else though, like before or after. I reckon let's do a boat of some
Yeah,
kind.
so grand final morning, I got on one of those little boats that you hire,
Yeah.
and I was putting towards the MCG, and I stood at the front, and that's when I did that really quite ordinary bit of vision where I turned around and said, I'm the king of the world.
Are they like fishing boats you throw a line in, or?
Well, I suppose you can, but they've got a little esky. You
They're
can
like
bring some
little
beers
cheese and cracker boats, JB. They don't go
Yeah.
very fast. You can operate it easily.
If it's a lovely day and we're probably due for some nice weather, that'd be a good
geez.
option.
Axing into boating.
Would you reincarnate for us or recreate that moment where it was like the Titanic on the
Yeah.
front of the boat for us?
I'd like that.
Jeez, that'd be nice.
Brody can be Kate Winslet, and I'll be
yes.
Leonardo
Staying
DiCaprio.
up
That's
the windows.
nice.
Don't you
That's
reckon?
nice.
And then you can draw Brody like one of his French girls later on.
I'll take my shirt off and you can draw me on the boat. All right?
All right, great. Axing and boating. That's our
Would you
Christmas
trust
party.
me if you're in front of me and there was no, because there's no barriers to it? Would you trust me if I was behind you and you were standing up the front there?
Jeez, that's a high risk situation.
I
isn't it?
would. I would trust him.
But he will push me. Imagine going into the Yarra. That's not ideal on a Christmas party. I'm sorry. Going into the Yarra.
That's infection. Minimum.
That is minimum infection. Venereal. Feels venereal.
It does.
After 10 beers, that's no good.
Christmas party sorted.
Beautiful. Maybe in the Crown, because we'll get off the boat there. Just drop into there, one of the restaurants.
A long session though, right? Everyone's up for a long session.
Absolutely.
I've got to tell you something, guys.
What?
I've agreed to go to watch Shane Crawford debut in Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat that night.
Jesus.
That's
It's
our
Croft.
Christmas
He's a former
party.
teammate of mine. His theatre debut.
This is the only reason we actually do the podcast is for the Christmas party.
That's
and you're
right.
ruining the Christmas
What are you
party.
doing, mate? What's wrong with you?
6:30. We'll be done by then, surely.
Can you get us into the mahogany room? Into the most prestigious room in Cran? Could
Sure
you
we
get
can.
Yes, where there's no actual mahogany. Yes or no?
No, it's named after the horse, not the
Named
type
after
of
the
horse.
horse.
All right. Well, we haven't heard the end of this. Back in a second. Welcome back to Brownie's podcast, Movember. Brody PointsBet Pomeroy. What's it all about?
They are sponsoring our show, and we
Yeah.
love Movember. And the idea that we want is that we want to, well, Dino, you want to comb Bristle's mustache. All right? And
To a song.
To a song. He's got the whole world in his hands, like on Con Air.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Feel real soft like.
because it's a beautiful mustache, and I don't know why you want to comb it, it's just what you want to do, right?
Because it's the mustache, that's why.
And I tell you what I did think is that we've got this guy that's willing to give us a limo, right? And I want to spend some time with Bruce. I just want to touch him a bit. I just want to feel him a bit. And you want to obviously comb his mustache.
He's actually got just as big a biceps as you. Have you
He
noticed
does,
that?
yeah.
Do you
You
reckon
can
he
have
was-
a bicep off.
And so, do you reckon he's having it on the roids, Bristol? Does he still work out?
He
Or is it
doesn't
just-
need to.
Is this
He's
just
all
old man?
natural for him, unlike yourself.
Yeah, okay, excellent. But so I'm gonna get the car, the limo, and we're gonna get Bristol into the limo. I'm gonna drive around with Bristol in the limo for like half an hour, 45
As long as
minutes.
we don't
Imagine
have to
that.
go to lawn. As long as it's around the CBD.
Yeah, we're just gonna do laps around the city with Bristol in it.
So it's us four and Bristol in a Ferrari limo.
Oh yeah,
I love this podcast.
And
That'd be
it's
fun.
got a Batman theme to it, this limo.
Shit.
how cool is that?
Come on.
With Bristol.
All right, we're locking that in.
Locking that in should be fun. Just before we get to What a World, just shout out to Kenny,
Yeah.
the Swan super fan.
Yeah.
Remember Kenny used to be in the middle of the team song every time the
Decades.
Swans would win. He'd lead the chant. Kenny, I don't know what his last name was, but he's always known as Kenny. Just one.
White
he
hair?
was so good, he only needed one name, like Ronaldo.
Yep.
Like Bono.
He had white hair.
He had white hair.
Yes.
Kenny Williams, Valet. born in 1929. So he's had a fair old knock.
Yeah,
He just
93.
passed away. 93
Dedicated his
years
whole
old.
life to the Sydney
He
Swans.
did, absolutely. A Swan super fan, and I think famously, remember when Plugger went on that rampage when he knocked out Peter Campbell when he was playing for St Kilda
That's
that day? I think he may have tried to take Kenny's head off in the front row when he took a mark in the goal square and then torpedoed it from 5 metres away. So lucky that Kenny lasted till he's 93. Valet to the great man.
Now it's time for...
What a world. The world's dirtiest man, Amu Haji from Iran. He died at the ripe old age of 94 years of age. Now, he claimed that for 67 years, he never, ever showered. This man had an aversion from soap and water, despite only eating uncooked porcupine roadkill. That's all he ate on the side of the road. Drinking dirty water from puddles out of rusty oil cans. He survived to 94 years of age.
What?
He had a fondness for smoking animal dung
What?
out of an old pipe, as well as 4 cigarettes at once. There's photos of him having 4 cigarettes at once.
Bad breath.
Terrible breath. He was the world's most filthy unit, and he lived to 94. And then his neighbours convinced him, persuaded him to have a shower after telling him that washing would make it easier for him to make friends and potentially find a girlfriend.
Positive.
So you know what he did? For the first time in 64 years, he went to a village. He had a wash in a bath, completely cleaned himself. Died 2 months later. He died of cleanliness.
It would have been great if he died in the bath.
What a world!
What a world. Hey, see you later.
Podcast.